if you're tipped to one side in your wheelchair, one shoulder lower than the other, heavy on an armrest, people constantly shifting you back to midline, maybe you shift yourself all day, you straighten up only to drift back a few minutes later, this video is for you. This is not just a bad habit that you need to correct, and someone telling you to sit up straight is not going to fix it. Leaning has real physical causes, and once you understand them, you can actually do something about it. And so in this video, we're going to help give you some info to pinpoint where your lean is coming from, and more importantly, what you can do about it. But before we do, my name is KJ Phillips. I'm an ATP, SMS, been that for over 10 years. Welcome to Adaptive Solutions. The purpose of this channel is to raise the standard in assistive technology by giving high quality, digestible education at no cost direct to the patients, to clinicians, or even my peers. This is just part of my overarching life's purpose to improve lives and unlock potential in others. So let's get to it. Here's the thing about leaning, it always comes from somewhere. It's not random, it's definitely not laziness. So instead of guessing, we're going to walk through 3 places where it can come from one at a time. Number 1, inside your body. Number 2, outside your body. And then number 3, from your needs, what you do throughout the day. Most leans are going to come from one of these 3. Some are a mix of these factors. Let's start on the inside and work our way out. Before we touch the chair at all, we have to ask, is the lean coming from inside you? Because if it is, no external factor, no cushion, no backrest in the world is going to fix that on its own. There are really 2 big internal causes. Number 1 is your muscles, specifically muscle tone. And remember, we talk to a broad audience for the people that use wheelchairs. We have strokes, we have birth defects, neurological degenerative conditions. And so when you talk about tone, you're usually talking more about someone who's had like a traumatic brain injury or a stroke, and they have some muscles that hold a lot of tension, whether they are trying to or not. If you've had a stroke or a TBI, you can have these tight pulling muscles and what you might hear called high tone. Those muscles can literally pull you over to one side. On the other hand, like on a stroke, other people have too little or low tone asymmetrically. Flaccid muscles that are soft and can't activate the right way to hold you up. And so you sag to one side or sometimes overcompensate to the other. In this case, think of someone who is hemiplegic like a stroke and has muscle control only on one half of their body. Too tight, too loose, or even just uneven, and all of those will pull you off your center. The second internal cause is your own sense of where your midline is. Your body has an internal sense of where my center and where straight is. That comes from 2 things working together, your inner ear balance and your proprioception, which is just a fancy word for your body's ability to feel where it is in space without looking. When that signal is off, and often it is after a stroke or other certain conditions, your body genuinely believes it's sitting up straight when you're actually leaning to one side. You're not forgetting, you're not ignoring your sense of direction. Your internal compass is just pointing the wrong way. So here's something I want you to understand. If your lean is coming from the inside, from tone, weakness, from your sense of balance, your wheelchair can help support you, but the chair alone is not going to be the whole answer. This is where you really want to be working with your physical therapist or your clinical team, because they can help your body to loosen tone or learn to position itself better. The chair helps to prop you up. The therapy you do with your body will help your body to do more of that on its own. You want both. All right, so now that we've covered internal factors, let's take a look at external factors, because sometimes your body is just fine. It's not pulling you to one side. You don't have reflexes that pull you forward and out of the chair. It's the equipment that isn't supporting you properly in some way. Let's go from the absolute bottom and work our way up, starting with your cushion, because that's your foundation. You'll hear me say a million times on this channel, the pelvis is the foundation of your posture. Is your cushion made out of stable or unstable materials? What does that even mean? If you want to do a deep dive on cushions, I have a video, one of my first ones, early in production value, but still lots of high quality information that goes into a variety of different cushions and what their benefits and drawbacks are. And in that video, I talk about the difference between stable and posturally supportive cushions versus submersive cushions, things that allow your body to sink into it and are soft. But because they're soft, like air, they are by necessity not stable. All right, you may need to find out whether the foam or gel you're sitting in is giving you the right type of stability to match what your body needs to sit up towards midline. Next, your backrest. If your backrest is just flat and you're sitting for 8 to 10 hours a day, you're not giving your trunk anything to rest against, and you will need to rest. If it isn't contoured shape, if you don't have lateral supports positioned in the right place on the sides of your body, you've got nothing holding you in the center. And when you're sitting for so long, you're eventually going to tire the use of your core muscles if you have any use of your core muscles. Then there are your armrests. This is a smaller factor, but people can miss it completely. If your armrests are too low or one set way too high, and you've gotten the habit of propping yourself up on it, you'll lean there a lot of the day. And often leaning on one arm is actually an issue that starts at your pelvis, continues up through your trunk, and expresses itself through your arms or even your head. You know, people will come to me all the time and say, my headrest just doesn't hold my head up. And I understand what they're thinking. The headrest, my headrest, they must be related. Your head position starts at your pelvis. So a lot of the time, if your shoulders aren't even, if your head is off to the side and the cause isn't internal, that's usually a problem that starts at the cushion and works its way up your body. All right, number 3, catching some of the stragglers, leaning because you need to. The third major reason people lean is because they have to. This one's about function. Sometimes you lean because that's the only way to get your body into a position where you can actually do the things you need to do. And doing things is the whole point of a wheelchair. It's there to empower you, to make you more independent and functional. Think about it. You might lean to reach things on cabinets. You might lean to grab your joystick if your joystick is far away and you have to extend your hand forward. And if you're constantly hurting on one side of your pelvis, like underneath your bottom, say under one sit bone, you may lean to get that pressure off of that side and onto another side. Now, in this case, the lean isn't really the problem. The problem is a chair that's not supporting you properly, either to do functionally what you need to, or to distribute the pressure on your bottom in the way that your body needs. So the real question becomes, is that lean truly what your body needs to do to function, or is your body only contouring like that because it's unsupported? And if we supported you properly, you could probably do the same task without twisting off to one side, without leaning over. A lot of the time, the answer is that second one. Give the body the support it's missing, and the lean disappears. Because it was never really needed, it was a compensation strategy to begin with. But not always. And I want to be honest about that. Some people and some diagnoses in particular, like cerebral palsy, come with a lot of spasticity and reflexes, where the moment they start to use their body, it triggers tightening and movement patterns that they cannot stop. And for that person, there is no point in trying to chase them being functional and straight up and down in their alignment at the same time. Because the act of functioning itself is what causes their body to throw itself off of center line. And in cases like that, you want to get them supported enough to be functional, and functional enough that they can even reset their posture on their own, ideally. Supported and functional is going to beat midline and stuck every time. Our main goal as ATPs is to get people functional. All right, so then what to do about it? After watching this, that should leave you with a pretty big question. What do I do? And the very first thing you need to ask yourself is this a lean or is this scoliosis? fixed or flexible. Flexible means that the body can still be brought back towards midline. If someone gently helps you, they could put their hands on your torso and help you to get straight. Fixed means your body has settled and contracted into that shape and it does not straighten anymore. Now, an important thing to say here about fixed versus flexible is that they can both get worse. Fixed does not mean it can't get worse. Fixed only means it can't get better. Both a flexible lean and a fixed lean or scoliosis can still progress to be worse if you ignore them. And so neither one is just something to live with. Here's how the goal changes depending on that answer. If the lean is flexible, your goal is likely to correct it, to support your body and position you as straight as we reasonably can to be functional while you still have the window to be to be corrected as straight. It's very confusing, the term fixed versus flexible, because we want a fixed posture, but we don't want to fix a scoliosis. The fixed scoliosis is stuck. So for someone that's flexible, that might mean a cushion that levels out your pelvis, maybe bolsters one side or puts more aggressive support on one side of your trunk to hold on to you so that when you get tired or when your body can't hold itself, your wheelchair can do that for you. If your lean is fixed, we stop trying to force you straight because that's just not going to happen. Instead, the goal is to accommodate the curve that you have now and build your cushion and trunk support around that shape so that, for one, you are functional. Again, that's our number one goal, to be functional, so that your weight is spread out and so that you don't get worse. Your scoliosis doesn't progress. We're protecting the position you're in and slowing that progression down. That's our goal. For the clinicians watching this might be obvious, but I'm going to spell out why addressing these leans or scolioses matter. When you tip to one side, all of your weight piles onto that sit bone, that little sharp bone underneath your pelvis, the first thing that starts hurting when you sit for a long time. And concentrated pressure on one spot day after day is one of the leading causes of pressure sores. On top of that, the longer a flexible scoliosis goes unaddressed, the more your body molds and contracts to that shape, the less fixable it becomes over time. It tilts your shoulders, tips your head, and can even collapse one side of your chest. If it goes far enough, unsupported for enough years, it can make breathing, even organ function, more difficult because everything gets compressed. And on top of all of that, leaning off center usually siphons your ability to function in the first place. So that's where it's coming from, what to do about it, and then why it matters. It's a question worth answering and looking at now, not later, when it gets even worse. And if your lean is new, if it's getting worse fast, or if you've got redness that won't fade or skin breakdown, call your medical and seating professional now. This video is educational and it does not replace an in-person evaluation. It's meant to help you understand what's going on so that you can ask better questions and get better help. If you do want a second set of eyes, I offer online wheelchair pain and positioning consultations. You can send your photos, your setup, and a description of your symptoms, and we'll get on a video call to identify the likely causes and give you a list of recommendations to bring to your seating team in person. The link to my website is in the description of the video, or you can email me at info@getadaptivesolutions.com, spelled just the way it shows up on the screen. Next in the series, we're going to keep going down that list of why your wheelchair isn't working for you. Subscribe so that you don't miss it, and go ahead and like this video while you're at it. Thank you so much for your time and your attention and your interest. See you in the next video.